All right, happy Sunday afternoon. Anthony with Bleacher Bones Gaming, and just some more testing, getting very close to finalizing the mechanics on Glory Days College football. Hopefully we'll have that done in another week, two at the most, depending on how much testing data I get back. And at that point, we'll expand the testing by probably 2 or 3 people. And basically from that point, we'll just be off and running testing games until it gets ready to release. So we're going to start off. What's up, Matt? I'm going to start this stream off with a full game Army and Coastal Carolina. And this is an interesting matchup. Both teams have very good defenses. Talent factor does not come into play for either team here. So the key to this matchup, if Army can sustain drives, they will have a little bit of a disadvantage in the simulated portion of the drive, going at a -2, while Coastal Carolina will go at a +1 for their simulated drives. Once they do get into play-by-play, Army's run game would operate at a +2 there. So if they can get a sustained drive going, they should be in good shape. So let's go ahead and kick it off. We in the toss, Coastal Carolina will be receiving. In this game, really Coastal plays very much a ball control type of offense too. Of course, Army is very run heavy, so there will only be 10 drives for each team in this game, equaling 5 per half. So we'll get, and Coastal will receive this. Army kicking off. All right, and Army kicking off is they are a D, so a roll of 5, and that's going to be down to the goal line. Coastal Carolina on the return. They are CE on the return, actually. So E on the kickoff return and a 5 there, and that's only going to be 10 yards. So they're going to take over first down at the 10-yard line for their simulated portion of the drive. And again, they are going to go +1. All right, so +1, meaning they are going to need, and this time I'm putting the charts up here so you can see they're going to need actually 31 and up to get a successful drive. Army's going to need 37 and up, and this is going to be a punt. And punt chart here, roll of 19, that's going to be 4 plays and 14 yards for Coastal. And they will punt from there. I'm also trying out a new score sheet where I've automated some of the process as well. So we'll see how that turns out. But Coastal first drive stalls. So they're going to come in and punt it away. All right. So 6 punting. They are a C, and punt return Army is also a C. So 6C on the punt is going to be a 41-yard punt. It's going to go down to the Army 35, and the return from there, a 6 on the return. And 6C is going to be a fair catch. So Army will take over on their own 35, their first drive of the game. And Tyler is leading the run-heavy Army rushing attack, as we'll get their card up here, team card. All right, ready to go. And again, operating at a -2 on their drive simulation. It'll be 37 above, and Army is going to get stuck punting as well. That's going to be 6. It's going to be a 6-play, 19-yard drive. So that's going to take it up from their own 35 to the opposing 46-yard line. And using the optional rule at 2D10 with a defensive roll of 9, the situation, if they wanted to try for it on 4th down, would not be very favorable here. So they are a 9. They'd be looking at 4th and 7. So they're going to punt it away here and try and pin Coastal deep. So each team, very uneventful the first time they had the ball. And punting for Army 1B, and that is going to be 44 yards, and that's going to be down to the 2-yard line. So Coastal maybe should have let that go, as their punt return is a C, roll of 4. And 4C is going to be a 4-yard return, so a poor decision there to field that and bring it out. That puts Coastal in the hole. Second time they have started inside their own 15-yard line in both of their opening drives. So let's see if they can sustain a drive now. And again, they have to get 31 or better to sustain a drive with a +1. And they're going to have to punt again. So defense playing big for both teams early in this one. This is going to be a 3-play 3-and-out. And Army, a good job flipping field position and forcing the punt. Let's see if they can take advantage of this and get a drive generated next possession. Punting away, Coastal is a C and 0. It's going to be a 50-yard punt, so a booming kick there. 61 all the way down to the Army 39-yard line, and a roll of 1 on the return, 1C, and that's going to be a fair catch. So Army starts their second drive on their own 39-yard line and looking to sustain a drive. Black Knights 37 or more, and they cannot sustain a drive a second time, so both teams struggling to get anything generated. It's going to be a 5-play 12-yard drive for Army. So that's going to go down to the Coastal 49-yard line, and the Black Knights will punt it away from the field position game with the Chanticleers. And 0 on the punt, 0B. That's going to be a 42-yard punt, so another excellent punt down to the 7-yard line. And on the return, 4C for Coastal. And that's going to be another 4-yard return. So for the third straight drive, and this is the last drive of the first quarter, Coastal is going to start inside their own 15-yard line. And again, an uphill battle to try and move the ball into scoring position from here. Grayson McCall, the freshman sensation quarterback, brings his team up to the line of scrimmage. And finally, we have a sustained drive. So 17, and again, you go from the 0 to 20. That's going to be a 7-play, a 45-yard drive for the Chanticleers. And so they'll be down to the Army, and a 7 makes it a 1st and 10 automatically on the down and distance. So 1st and 10 from the Army 44-yard line. And Coastal, they are a run-heavy team in early down, so 7 or less is going to be a run. This will indeed be a run. 55, and that's going to be a penalty on the offense. So we'll see what the play result is first. 55 for Coastal. Be a -2 card, roll of 2 on the run play. And I'm not going to pull these up to show you here. That's going to be a 1-yard gain for Coastal. And the penalty, I'm sure Army will want to back them up. 13, that is going to be a holding penalty. So Army definitely will back them up. So that's back to their own 46-yard line, 1st and 20. And our first penalty, the ball game penalties, for whatever reason in recent testing, have been coming up quite a bit more. It's definitely a cyclical thing. As first down, the Chanticleers are going to call another run. And 53, this is going to be a -1. So coming off of and -1, roll of, I didn't need to roll that, 7. And that's actually going to be a 5-yard gain. So one of the poor results that gets the ball to the Army 49-yard line. It's going to be 2nd down and 15 for the Chanticleers. Grayson McCall brings the team up. And again, final drive of the first quarter. It's going to be another run play. 41 for Coastal. And that's going to be out of the 0 column, roll of 9. And if it was 1, could have had a big play. Instead, that will be a 6-yard gain down to the 3-yard line, 3rd down and 9 for Coastal. And on 3rd down and 6+, it's going to be a pass 3 or greater. This is 4. It's going to be a short pass 11. It's going to be a +3 for the Chanticleers. And that is one of the rare incompletions. Only 2 opportunities there. So incomplete pass, and Coastal is going to have to kick it away. All right, from the 43-yard line, this down and distance situation, Coastal is just going to try and maintain that field position flip that they got on their last drive. See if they can deaden this inside the Army 10-yard line. Punting, they are a C. And 6C on the punt, that's going to be a 4 down to the 2. And Army on the return. One thing that'll be worked on as we get closer to release 2, there'll be an optional rule where if a punt comes down inside the 10, we will roll a additional die. I don't know if it's going to be a 1d6 or maybe a 1d10 for bounce to see if it bounds into the end zone. Obviously here we haven't implemented that yet, so we will just go with what's in the game currently. Return is a C and 3C. That's going to be a 4-yard return. So Army, now they're in a hole as they start the second quarter at their own 6-yard line. So score after one very defensive quarter. Coastal 0 and Army 0, and the Black Knights now on offense. Let's see if they can get a sustained drive going in the quarter. From the 6, 37 or more, and 79 on the drive chart at a -2. And that's going to be a big play run. So Army comes through big there. And sorry, while I pound away on my score sheet. All right, big play 2. We're looking at this column here on Army's team card. They do have a touchdown on there, a roll of 4 and 1. Not quite a touchdown, but a 31-yard run. So they will start actually on their own 37 and jump into play-by-play mode there. And that will, of course, be an automatic 1st and 10. There's also going to be an optional rule where if you finish a simulated drive and you're still within this part of the field, you can roll for a second simulated drive. Again, that's still been fleshed out a little bit, so I'm just going to go play-by-play at the current time. So jumping into play-by-play mode, the Black Knights are going to have to cover some ground, and of course they're going to come out running the ball. Deuces, and it's not going to be a penalty. It will be a +20 though on the run card. Just missed a big play. Instead, that's going to be a 2-yard gain. 2nd down and 8 as that gets it up to the 39-yard line. Black Knights now rolling, and again a running play. What else? 14. That's going to be another +3. So Army looking to get things cooking with the run game, and a roll of 0. And we are going to have a big play there. Big play on the run, roll of 0. And let's see if they can pop one here. Again, that TD is on 4. Breaks through the line, and another 32nd 31-yard big play. So after a very stagnant first quarter, Army with the big plays. And that's all the way down to the Coastal 30-yard line. 1st and 10. Triple option attack, flex bone attack of Army is now far. Going to be a 0. It'll be a run play. -1, so we're finally going off the Coastal's card. Roll. That's going to be a 3-yard gain. 2nd down and 7 as we move it down to the 27-yard line. Army now feeling it though. Finally, their triple option is running, and a roll of 7. That's still going to be a running play roll of 34, and that's going to be a +1. +1 4 is going to be a 23, and it's going to make it 3rd down and 3. At the Coastal 23-yard line, 3rd and 3. And 0 to 6, that is going to be yet another running play. What else? Army, of course, and that's going to be and 7 on the +1, 4, and we're going to have a possible fumble, so that will be a 1st down. And we will now resolve the fumble. And I'm not tracking individual player stats in this video just to get through the game a little bit quicker. So Army on their fumble result is 1-11. 10, and Coastal takes it away. Army waste an excellent drive, fumbling the ball away. Our first turnover of the game as Coastal takes possession at their own 19-yard line, their 4th drive of the game as we are approaching the midway point of the second quarter. Coastal had a good drive last time, and this time they are not going to repeat that. It's going to be another punt. 3 plays, 7 yards, so a 3 and out. Army's defense playing extremely well, and this will be the 4th punt for Coastal, 0 for 4 on drives. So defense is ruling the day here on this one, as they punt from the 26-yard line and a roll of, or a 4C on the punt. And that's only going to be a 33-yarder. So that's going to be fielded by Army at their own 41-yard line, and punt return roll is 7. 7C, that's going to be a no return. So Army takes over at their own 41. Again, good field position for the Black Knights. See if they can capitalize on momentum gained in that last drive. What's up, Robert? Welcome, buddy. Enjoyed your playoffs. I haven't watched your next project video yet, so looking forward to see what you have for your next project, as Army on the drive 88 and 88 at a -2. Another potential fumble as Army. This is one thing. This is the last thing that I'm looking at too in terms of the drive charts, is even narrowing the turnover ratios even more than they are now. This is where probably over half of the turnovers are coming right now. And I want to cut that down just a little bit, get it more of an equal balance between the team sheet. And 14 there is not, actually we'll use that for the yardage, sorry. So that's going to be 4 plays and 32 yards on the drive, and then we will roll the white die for the fumble. So again, with the adjustment, it needs to be more than 14 for Army to maintain possession. 17, and they come up big, maintain the ball, and we are going to have a successful drive. So 32 yards, 73, that's down to the 27-yard line, and they will take over there. Down and distance situation, however, is not going to be favorable for them. Roll of 9 in a defense of, it's going to be 2nd down and 7, so it could be worse. All right, Black Knights up 2nd down and 7, and again, sticking it on the ground. 62, though, is going to be an unfavorable roll. 62 will be a -2 on Coastal's card. And -2, that is the one bad result on that column. That's going to be actually a 5-yard gain. So we're going to have a 3rd and 2, very favorable situation for the Black Knights. And Coastal stacking the box, expecting a run. And again, here, if it is a run play, we will do the adjustment. 11, and that would have been huge. That would have been a big play and most likely a touchdown. But instead of the 3 column, kicks it to the 2 column, and that's only going to be a 2-yard gain. But it's going to be enough for the 1st down. So 1st and 10 Army at the Coastal 20-yard line going in. Let's see if they can put it on the board. And of course, it's going to be another run play, and coming off the 2 column on run, it's going to be a 3-yard gain there for Black Knights. And this is what they do. They just chip away at you. 2 yards, 4 yards, 3 yards, and then occasionally they will pop one. 2nd and 7, and switch it up here. It's going to be a pass play, 56. It's going to be a -3, however, off of Coastal's card on the short pass. And sorry, 3 on the -3. It's actually going to be complete. Tyler wedges it in coverage, and that's going to be a 4-yard gain. Bring up another 3rd and 3 situation. And the first play-by-play pass by Army in this game so far. Let's see if they can convert. It's going to be a run play. 23 is going to be a +1 call. So 4 on the +1, and that is going to be a gain. And we are going to bring out our optional measurement system. Why not? So whenever you get the exact yardage on 3rd down, roll a 1d20 and compare it to the team's drive defense. For Coastal, that is a 9. So 9 or less, this will be 4th and inches. 10 or more, it will just be past the mark for a 1st down. And not even thinking about it, Army is going to go. So there's our optional measurement system. 4th and 1 from the 10-yard line, just outside the 10. So Army needs at least a gain of 1 to pick up the 1st down. 7, and of course, that's going to be a run. Coastal is expecting a run. 23, normally off the +2, will be off the +1 with the adjustment for the expectation. one. That's going to be a 3-yard gain. So Army easily picks it up, 1st and goal, and they are tough to stop in that situation. So 3-yard gain, and Army looking to punch it in and take the lead. 66 though, and that's going to be a defensive penalty. We'll see what the result is. And of course, it will be off the 0 or -3 column on the defense with a roll of 66. It's going to be a stuff play, and we don't even need to see what the result is. Army is going to take the penalty, and that's a 2nd penalty on the Chanticleers in this game. 7 on the defense. That's going to be offsides, a very costly offside penalty. It's going to be half the distance to the goal, and so that'll move it down to the 3-yard line. Still 1st and goal, and the Chanticleers, they had defenders in the backfield. A horrible mistake, but he was there because he was offside. So here we go, 1st and goal. 21, and 21 is going to be a 2. This should punch it in, a roll of 5, and into the end zone for the touchdown. The Black Knights take the lead. A 3-yard plunge by the fullback, and we'll bring out the extra point team. 92 or better, kick is up, and it is easily good. So the Black Knights finally break the defensive doldrums as they jump out to a 7-0 lead here in the 2nd quarter. Both teams will have one last drive before halftime. Coastal set to receive. And Army brings their kickoff team out onto the field. And again, Army is a D. So 3D, that's going to be down to the goal line. And the Chanticleers, who again do not have a very good kickoff return team, they are an E. And it's going to be a 20-yard return. So Coastal, surprisingly, and this is their best field position of the game, their 5th drive, and starting at their 20 is their best field position. That has been what has done them in thus far. All right, Coastal now ready to try and get a successful drive. 81, and they are going to +1. That's going to be a big play, too, on the run. So Coastal, now they get their big play, and that's one thing I am liking a lot more on these drive charts. The latest adjustment has the run big plays coming up much more frequently and much more balanced, in my opinion. So Coastal, they also have a TD run. That's going to come off a roll of 0 and 8. Not quite that, but it'll take a 45-yard run. So Coastal finally pops one. 45-yard run, by far their biggest gain of the day. That gets it all the way down to the Army 35-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Chanticleers. And Grayson McCall now looking to capitalize as we jump into play-by-play mode. Brings the team up to the line of scrimmage, and 4 is going to be a run call, 35. And that's going to be off the 0 column, roll of 7. And 7 off the 0 column, 2-yard gain. We will use 20 here just to make sure there was no 0 column adjustment, which there is not. So 2-yard gain for the Chanticleers, 2nd down and 8. Gets it down to the 33-yard line. Total yardage thus far in this one, as I'm tracking this on my automated Excel sheet that I'm testing out. 154 thus far for Army and 129 for Coastal. 2nd and 8 for the Chanticleers. And 2nd down, that's going to be a short pass. 65, not good, into the teeth of the Army defense. It's going to be a -3 off the short pass column for Army, roll of 7. And that's going to be an incomplete pass. So 2nd incomplete pass in play-by-play mode for Grayson McCall, and that puts the Chanticleers in a 3rd and long situation. 3rd and 8, Army backing off, playing the pass. 3 or better, and 8. Coastal is going for a long pass, and Army will be ready for it. Would have been a +3, and it's still a great roll. Gets him in the +2 column, long pass, and roll of 5 on that, +2. And it's going to be 23 yards, but a possible interception. And I actually have already rolled that, so I'll go ahead and keep it. Grayson McCall, he is a 1 to 7 on interceptions, and Army's adjustment is a +9. So 1 to 16 and 19. He's going to thread the needle on that. Defender had a chance, could not make the play. So that's going to be a 1st down. So Coastal, 23 yards down to the 10-yard line, 1st and 10, an excellent pass from Grayson McCall, and his first completion in play-by-play mode. So Coastal now with a chance to even it up on their final drive of the first half, and 1st and 10, call 23, and that was be a +2. Roll of 1, +2 on the short pass call, and that's going to be incomplete. So 2nd goal from the 10. Coastal back up to the line of scrimmage. McCall looks over the defense. Here comes a snap, and going to keep it on the ground this time. 52 on the run. That's going to be a -1 off of Army's card. I need to quit rolling that. Roll of 9, and it's going to be a stuff play. So Army into the Coastal Carolina backfield. Roll of 4, and that is going to be no gain. It's going to be 3rd and goal now from the 10. Defensive play by Army. Their linebacker shot the A-gap. Met the runner at the point of attack, 3rd and long, and 3rd and long, it's going to be a long pass attempt, 25, and Army expecting that will get the adjustments. So coming off the 0 column, and 0-3 on the long pass, that's going to be incomplete, and Coastal's going to have to settle for a field goal attempt. So early in this one, the Coastal offense, Grayson McCall, having a hard time getting into his rhythm in the passing game. It's going to be a 27-yard field goal. So from 20 to 29, 0 to 97, kick is down and up and good. So Coastal finally on the scoreboard in this one. Army will have one more drive here in the first half, and it is 7-3. The Black Knights in the lead. Coastal ready to kick it off as we approach halftime. And again, this very defensive slobber knocker between two very good defensive teams, of course. And 2D, that should be a touchback, and it is a touchback. So Army will start their final drive of the half on the 25. All right, again, going -2. They need 37 or better to have a successful sustained drive, and they do not. They're going to go punt this ball away on their final drive of the first half. 3 and out, and that's going to be 5 yards gain total. So we'll go ahead and play the punt just to make sure there are no blocks. So punting from the 30-yard line, and Army 5B on the punt. That's going to be a 34-yard punt down to the 36-yard line of Coastal. And on the return, Coastal roll of 7 and 7C on the return. That's going to be no return, and that will be your first half. So first half recap, again, a very defensive battle, very close game, 7-3. Yardage, Army 159 to 152 advantage, and they will receive the second half kickoff. Let's see if they can turn it around. MV has joined us. What's up, bud? All right. We have 5 drives each in the second half. Again, both teams very much ball control-oriented offenses. So Army up 7-3 to receive the second half kickoff. Coastal boots it away, and that is deep. That's going to come down at the goal line, and we're going to have a return for Army. Army with a C on the kick return. And 6C is going to be a 25-yard return, so they'll get it out to where they would have had it on a touchback. 1st and 10, 37 or more for a simulated or an extended drive, I should say. And 81 on -2, and that's going to be another big play run. So Army, 3 big play runs in this game so far. And again, liking very much how much more that's coming up now on the drive charts. So again, touchdown is a 4, and he breaks it right up the middle. 75-yard touchdown run, and the Black Knights explode. First touch of the second half, a 75-yard touchdown rumble, and they go up 13-3. Extra point team out on the field. Kick is up and good, and Army has extended their lead to 14-3 on a big play, 75-yard run to start the second half. And Coastal now, they need to definitely have some success on this drive as this game risks getting out of hand. And their defense is not used to giving up these big plays. Army's had 3 of them, 2 31-yarders, and that 75-yard touchdown gallop to take the lead. And here comes the kickoff from Army, and kickoff is a D6. That's going to go down to the 5-yard line. Coastal return from there of 1. And 1E, that's going to be a 20-yard return. So Coastal, they start out at their own 25 on their first drive of the second half as well. And for a sustained drive, the Chanticleers, they need 31 or better. And 80, and that's going to be a big play as well. 80 is going to be a big play run for the Chants. So both teams now, their ground games opening things up, and the Chanticleers roll of 0. They're going to answer back 4, not quite. It's going to be a 46-yard gallop, though. And that's going to be all the way down to the Army 29-yard line, and an excellent response by the Chanticleers. 46 yards on that run. Second drive in a row. They've had a big play in the run game. The first one was 23 yards. I'm sorry, 45 yards. So 45 and 46, and Coastal now with a 1st and 10. 4-point deficit. Up to the line of scrimmage, Grayson McCall. It's going to be a running play. 24 is going to be a +2. And +2-7, that's going to be a 4-yard gain. 2nd and 6 from the 25 for the Chants. So after a very much a sluggish defensive first half, things have picked up late in the second quarter and here to start the third. And the Chanticleer is going to be a run on 2nd down 52, though. That's going to come off of the -1 column on Army. And 52-7, but Army, their run defense is shaky. They've got some good results and a couple of bad ones. That's going to be one of the bad ones. A 5-yard run, going to make it a 3rd and 1 for the Chants. 3rd and 1 at the Army 20. And, of course, we're going to have a run play, and Army hitting on the run, so we're going to have the 1-column adjustment. 24 would have been a +2, and adjusted by Army being prepared for the run. +1 roll of 6, and that's going to be a 4-yard gain, though. Still easily picking up the first down is Coastal Carolina. 1st and 10 now from the 16-yard line. Arnold Hunter has joined us. What's up, buddy? Yeah, we're getting real close, Arnold, to, I think, getting the engine exactly where I want it to be. I probably am going to make some tweaks to turnovers on the drive chart, send it out for final testing with the limited team I've got now, and then probably expand the testing to include anywhere from 2 to 3, maybe 4 more guys to do testing on the final version. So yeah, looking very good thus far, or very hopeful, I should say. And it's going to be a short pass for the Chants, and it's going to be a +2 on the short pass result roll of 3. It's going to be a 14-yard gain all the way down to the 2-yard line. Grayson McCall rips out one in between the seam and the zone. And Coastal now, 1st and goal from the 2 of the Black Knights, and things have definitely heated up offensively after a very, again, lackluster first half where the defense has kind of rolled. And, of course, it's going to be a running play 32, and that comes off the +1 column. Grayson McCall turns, hands it off, and Marpel scampers into the end zone. 2-yard run, and Coastal has responded to the Army touchdown. And 2nd scoring drive in a row for the Chanticleers after they started out with 5 successive punts. So pending the extra point, we are sitting at 17-9 and 0-91. Kick is up, and it is good. And Coastal Carolina responds, and it is 14-10. And Army now will get set to get their 2nd possession of the second half. Let's see if the ground game fireworks can continue. Total yardage now, Army, 234 yards on the day, 227 for Coastal. So things remain very even in that category as Coastal tees it up, and kickoff goes deep. And that's going to come down at the 5-yard line, and a 0 on the return. We go to the Army big play chart on the kickoff return, which, again, this doesn't necessarily mean there's big play results there. These are just more individualized kickoff returns based on the team's results. And this is also where special team turnovers can occur. So best game on here is a 39-yarder. And that's not going to come up. Instead, it'll be a 22-yard and where Army takes over on their. So 27-yard line. Both teams have one drive after this for the third quarter. Army, let's see if they can continue with another sustained drive. 37 or more, not this time. And they're going to have to punt, roll of 10. That's going to be 6 plays, 20 yards. So that gets it up to the 47-yard line. And Coastal now with an opportunity to come back and take their first lead of the ball game as Army brings on the punting team. And again, B, they are very good on special teams, at least punting. That's going to be a 42-yard punt. So that's all. And that's where they had problems in the first half. Coastal started 4 drives inside their own 20-yard line. And potentially going to happen here as they are a C on punt returns. Roll of 3. And 5th time in 7 drives thus far in this game. Coastal is going to start inside their 20. In fact, only once. The other time they started at their 20. Their best field position so far has been their own 25. So Coastal from the 11-yard line, 31 or more for sustained drive, and they pull off another great sustained drive. 18 in all the way down to the Army 25-yard line as a very nice, in fact, their best sustained drive of the game as their other 2 scoring drives had. That's not going to be favorable for Coastal on the down and distance. It's going to be 3rd and 10. So 3rd and 10 from the 25, and at worst, they can hopefully cut this to a 1-point game. 3rd and 10, Grayson McCall up to the line of scrimmage. 9 going deep. Army's expecting that 65 is a terrible roll for Coastal. -3, roll of 6 off the Army long pass chart is going to be an incomplete pass. So Coastal is going to have to settle for a 42-yard field goal attempt. And again, that still cuts it to a 1-point lead if they can convert. 0-74. And kick is up, and that is easily good. Had a leg to spare on that one, so Coastal. A 1-point game, 14-13, and Army, their final possession of the third quarter as they receive the third quarter kickoff. 5 drives per quarter in this one as both teams, again, very much possession-oriented. And, hey, Brock has joined us as well. He joined us in time for good one, Brock. Thus far, a quick recap. A lot of defense in the first. Army's first half possessions had 3 punts, a fumble, and a touchdown. Coastal's all were punts in the first half. Both teams have rebounded. I'm sorry, they actually got a field goal in their last drive of the first half. 4 punts and a field goal. Both teams in the second half, Army 2 touchdowns and Coastal a touchdown and a field goal. Big plays have been aplenty. Coastal has had big runs of 45 and 46 yards. Army 31 twice and a 75-yard touchdown gallop on the big play. So let's get ready to go. Army back to receive this, and the kickoff zeros. And again, this will come off the Army big play chart, and kickoff. Army starts their final possession of the third quarter on the 25. And here we go. 37 or more for a sustained drive. Army needs to answer. 27. That's not going to get it done. I'm sorry, 13. 3 and out. 3 plays, 6 yards. So they get it up to the 31-yard line as Coastal's defense stiffens up after 2 successive touchdown drives. And Army's going to have to punt this away to end the third quarter. So punting from their own 31. A tight back and forth game. 7 B on the punt is going to be a 39-yarder. So 70 yards down to the Coastal 30 where that's going to be caught. And on the punt return, 3C, it's going to be a fair to the fourth quarter, folks. It is Army 14, Coastal Carolina 13, and we are headed for a tight finish. Coastal gets their first drive of the final quarter, 96. That's not going to be good as that's going to be a potential turnover. 96 will be a potential interception. And Army does a great job taking the ball away there. So 15 on the drive roll, first of all. 15 is going to be 5 plays and 28 yards. Fine. And now we will roll for the pick. So Coastal, Grayson McCall, 1-7 on interceptions, but you can see on Army's defensive card, they are a +9. So 1-6 is picked off, intercepted, and the return on that. So Army now 3-9, and no return on the interception, but they're going to take over the yard line and a big defensive play on that. Second to fill in my drive sheet here. All right, so Coastal, their first turnover of the game and a very costly interception by Grayson McCall as Army takes over now, and they'll look to put a little space between themselves and the Chanticleers. 37 or more for a sustained drive. Army has been excellent today on the big plays, and they're going to have a sustained drive here. 20 and 20 from their own 42-yard line. And that's going to be 1 play, 19 yards, but the plus here indicates it will be an automatic 1st and 10. So that's down to the Chanticleer 31 or 39-yard line. Sorry, automatic 1st and 10 for the Black Knights. And they step into play-by-play mode, which is where they have shined in this game. And, of course, we're expecting them to keep it on the ground. They do not disappoint. Roll of 42. That's going to be out of the 0 column. Roll of 8. And, again, I'll use the dice this time to make sure there's no adjustment. 18, Robinson. He's going to get a +2-yard adjustment to whatever the result is. So this gets out of here. 8 on the 0 column. That's going to be a 5-yard gain. Make it a 7-yard gain down to the 32. 2nd down and 3. And, again, that adjustment only comes into play when a roll is done off the 0 column. You check the backs here to see if they have a 0 column adjustment. McCoy is a -2. Robinson and Atkins are a +2, which is how we got that result. All right, 2nd down and 3 for the Black Knights. Up to the line of scrimmage, and it's going to be another run play. Chanticleers are ready, though, 62. It's going to be a -2 result. Oh, just missed a stuff. And instead, that's going to be a 2-yard gain. So that'll make it a 3rd and 1 from the 30-yard line. And we've already had one close measurement situation. So a gain of 1. We'll have another measurement situation here. Coastal stacking the box. And, of course, it is a run play, 21. Army blocks this good. Even with the adjustment, it's still going to come off the +1 column. So a roll of 6 +1, and that's going to be a 3-yard gain. Plenty to pick up the 1st down. 1st and 10 down to the Chanticleer 27-yard line. Army now. Looking to salt this game away. And 1 sec. I did the wrong yardage. All right, Tyler up to the line of scrimmage, and 8 on 1st and 10, going to be a running play. 54, and this is potentially bad for Army, though, as that's going to come off the -2 column of the Chanticleers. Roll of 9, and that's going to be a stuff. So the Chanticleers timing the snap, getting into the backfield, and roll of 9 on the stuff chart, and that's going to be no gain. So stuck right in the hole, 2nd down and 10. Army back up to the line of scrimmage, looking to be methodical here. Going to be yet another run play, 62. And 62, this is going to come off the -2 column on Coastal Carolinas. And another roll of 9 and another stuff. So the Chanticleers defense stepping up here in the 4th quarter. Roll of 9, and again, no gain. Going to make it 3rd and 10. And this is not the situation Army wants to be in, as Coastal Carolina showing why they were a very respected G5 defense in 2020. 3rd and 10 from the 27 and 2. And Army's going to try and run the ball, but again, a roll of 61. And this time, Coastal, that is, I'll show you, -1, roll of 4. That is their bad result on their defensive chart there. And that's an 8-yard gain. So that's going to make it a 4th down and 2 from the 19-yard line. And SDG Replays, check out that great, wonderful channel. How are you feeling, my friend? Hope you are feeling better. Of course, that's our good friend Kent. So 4th and 2, do we go for it here? I know what Jeff Monken would do. He would definitely go for it in this situation. And I think we're going to make the call and try and put this game away, go for it on 4th and 2. So up to the line of scrimmage, Army. 0, and they are going to run the ball. 43. Coastal's going to be sitting on that in a roll of 9. That is going to be off the -1 column of Coastal. That's going to be a stuff. And Coastal Carolina's defense comes up huge. And again, no gain, stuffed in the hole. Wow, unbelievable. So 3 of 4 of those carries, a stuff result came up for Coastal. And Army. Their attempt to salt this one away is smited. They are stopped on downs. They'll have one more drive after this, the Black Knights. And Coastal, they have 2 drives now. This is their second to last drive of the game. They take over on their own 19 in a huge, huge defensive stop. And the Coastal home crowd is going crazy after that. All right, and this is an guys, hit that like button as we're headed for a big finish. Coastal needs a sustained drive. Not going to get it, 18, and they are going to be forced to punt. Roll of 9 is going to be 3 plays, no yards. A 3 and out after a great defensive effort. So Army's defense responds and gives their offense one more chance. It's going to be as Coastal sends a punt team out there. So Coastal 3-0 on the punt, and that's going to be a booming 50-yard punt. That's the best result they can get. So 69 drives it all the way down to the 31-yard line and an 8 on the return. 8C, and that's going to be a 6-yard return up to the 37, and Army's going to start their final drive of the game right there. Glad you're doing well, my friend, and feeling better. So this is it, guys. 14-13. Each team, 1 drive left. This has been a defensive battle. Both defenses making huge plays at various times in this game with turnovers or 4th down stops. Here we go. And Army 38, and they needed 37 or more to get a sustained drive. They just barely get the sustained drive. So 19 from the 37-yard line. That's going to be a 4-play, 32-yard drive. And that gets it down to the Coastal 31-yard line, and Army now. Down and distance situation of an 8, and Coastal Carolina's defense is a 9. So it's going to be a 2nd down and 7, and again, manageable. Army doesn't flinch at those. They like to get 3 to 4 yards a pop, which they're on schedule with the 1st down run of 3. So 2nd 7, let's see what the Black Knights do. 4, of course, they are sticking to the ground. Try to run this out. It's going to be a +2 result with the 24 on the 2D6, and roll of 2 +2, and that's going to be a nice 6-yard gain. So all the way down to the 25-yard line. It's going to bring up another 3rd and 1 situation for the Black Knights. And Army has definitely taken a lead in total yardage. They now sit at 346 to 310 for Coastal. This is the play of the game, folks. 3rd and 1, pretty safe. It's going to be a run, and 41. Now it's normally going to be a run off the 0 column. Changes it to the -1 column. Can Coastal come through again? Roll of 3, and they cannot. That is a 2-yard gain down to the 23-yard line. Army's fullback charging ahead. That is Buchanan, and it's going to be 1st and 10 from the 23. A huge, huge play for the Black Knights, and they can put this one away and make it a touchdown and 2-point conversion needed for Coastal to tie. So here we go. 1st and 10, going to be a run play. 42, that's going to come off the 0 column. And 3-0, it's going to be a 5-yard gain, and the ball carrier is Robinson again, and that's going to get that +2 bump. I'm sorry, it's Atkins. He also has a +2 bump. So that's going to make it a 7-yard gain down to the 16-yard line. 2nd down and 3, and Coastal really needed to get a stop there. So Army, 2 plays to get 3 yards. 5, that's going to be a +1 for the Black Knights. Roll of 1, 3-yard gain. And the optional, we do not do the measuring. We only do the measurements on 3rd down when you get exact yardage. It's going to be a 1st and 10. Now from the 13 for the Black Knights. And of course, they stick it on the ground. -1 is the result, coming off of Coastal's card of 3, 2-yard gains, 2nd down and 8. At the 11-yard line, as Army just grinding away, 3 yards, 2 yards, 4 yards. See if they can pop one here. They line up. It's going to be yet another run play, and we're going to have a defensive penalty on the roll of 33 on the 2d6. So let's see what the roll is. First of all, 33 is going to be a +1, a roll of 2. And that's actually going to be a 7-yard gain. That'll get it to the 4. Let's see what the penalty is. And flag is down. That's going to be an offsides. And Army, they're going to take the gain. So 7 yards down to the 4-yard line. It's going to make up a 3rd and 1 from the 4. As the Black Knights look to make it hard here, 3rd down, it's going to be another run play, but 62, and again, it's going to be another stuff result. Coastal Carolina coming up huge, 0, and that's going to be another no gain. Wow, 4th and 1 from the 4. Does Army go for it here? And they are going to bring in the field goal unit, and they're going to make Coastal Carolina score a touchdown to beat them. Unbelievable red zone defense by Coastal. That is 4 stuffs over the last 2 drives. So this will be a 21-yard field goal for the midshipmen. 0-97. Kick is up, and it is good. So a vital field goal for Army. I called them midshipmen, Black Knights. That makes it 17-13 now in a very tight defensive battle. This is it, guys. Coastal Carolina's last game. We'll see if they can pull this out. Army set to tee it up, and here comes a kick. 7, and again, Army D, not the best kickoff team. That's going to come down at the 5-yard line. Roll of 1 on the return. 1E on the kickoff return. That's going to be a 20 turn. So Coastal starts their final drive of the ball game on the 25-yard line, and they need a touchdown. Field goal does them no good. And first of all, they need a successful sustained drive. Use the 2d6 dice to give a down or distance situation. It will be an automatic 4th down. They'll try for it. Because obviously, last drive, this would be 2 to 3 minute area of the game in terms of time remaining. You're not going to punt it away in that situation. So again, that's another rule that's accounted for. All right, but first, 31 or better for that sustained drive, and 17. They do not get it. And 5 yards, that's going to make it a 4th and 5. And they have to go for it. 4th and 5, this is the game. Army's defense in. Now, the good thing here, 4th and 5, which you take off the 3rd and 5 result. So Army cannot anticipate any type of pass play, so they don't get the advantage there, which bodes well for Coastal. They need good numbers, though. Let's see what they call. Running play, are you kidding me? 53, they try and catch Army napping, and 53 is going to be a -1 off of Army's card. Roll of 3, and that's your ball game. 1-yard gain, a very suspect call on 4th and 5, and stopped in the backfield. And even there, and actually I should have been on the 2-minute column, but even there, still 0 was still going to be a run. So that is the ball game as the Black Knights come up big and stop Carolina on 4th down. They're going to take a knee, and time runs out. A very exciting defensive battle. We'll do a quick recap of this. And again, thanks to everyone for stopping by. Matt, Steeler Fan 1933, Robert with RJL 518. Check out that great channel. MV and Arnold Hunter, of course, Brock Roblett, and our good friend Kent from SDG Replays. Check out his wonderful channel as well, guys. And if you would, please leave a like on the way out. But our final recap. So Army And let me add up total plays as well. 14. All right, 27. Very much an Army style game too. They did not mess around throwing the football. Only one pass in play-by-play mode. And when you do the simulated stats from the simulated drives, of course, you'll get a couple more. But very, very much keeping with their profile of being a completely run-first team. All right. So final recap. Army, it was close yardage-wise throughout, and again, a very defensive game. Final tallies are going to be Army, 60 plays, 367 yards. Coastal Carolina, 52 plays, 316 yards. And again, our drive results, Coastal, they had 5 punts, 2 field goals, a touchdown, an interception, and a turnover on downs. Army, they had 4 punts, 3 touchdowns. Hold on. Oh, my bad. Yeah, they had 2 touchdowns in the third. So actually not that close, 24-13. Whoops. So anyway, 4 punts, 3 touchdowns, a turnover on downs, and a field goal. So that's it. Your final score in this one, Army 24, Coastal Carolina 13, as the Army ground game got the job done. Again, thanks to everyone for watching. This is Glory Days College Football, and again, a game currently in development, getting very close to moving in from alpha to the beta phase. We'll add some more testers and a couple more tweaks on the charts, and I think we will be ready to go. So appreciate y'all watching. Take care. Have a good rest of your Sunday. Anthony with Bleacher Bums Gaming, and we will see y'all later. Bye-bye.